Hello and welcome to Huddersfield Town's post-match show after a 0-0 draw with Rotherham. The show is in association with Sportsbroker. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by Huddersfield Town B team and under-19 coach John Worthington and Andy Lawson, presenter for Pop Dab. How are you both? You okay?
Yeah, very well. Thanks, Adam.
Good. No, it's good to hear. Andy, I'll start with you. Obviously, you come into this game. It's been hyped up as a game that we have to win to kind of secure our safety nice and early. Ultimately, we get a point.
Yeah, I think coming into it, I think there was a lot of nerves around. I think that's the fans as well as those on the pitch today. And I actually feel like overall it was a very nervy performance from both sides. Do you know, Adam, I would have loved to have come into today and just completely got rid of any thoughts of what had happened on Tuesday. But I do think it kind of was hanging over and was affecting really everybody. And I'd love to be talking to you now after we've got 3 points today. It's not been today, but overall a point. I take that over any kind of defeat today for obvious reasons.
Yeah, after Tuesday night, Worthy, you absolutely take a point, don't you?
Yeah, I think we're all going into the game, wanting the 3 points. But I think it was vital that we didn't lose the game. I think in terms of Rotherham, I think they were more desperate for the 3 points than ourselves, really. But I think over the balance of the game, it was a very cagey affair, which I think anybody who didn't think it would be, he's been a little bit naive, really. So I think it was a cagey affair, and at the end of the day, we take the point and move on.
In games like that, when it is cagey, it is scrappy, the ball's in the air for prolonged periods. What do you have to do differently to kind of take control of the game, Worthy?
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I think you have to defend both boxes, and sometimes you get a little bit of luck when you're honest and you put your head on the line. And I think the lads did that. To be fair to them, and then you get your little bit of luck where obviously they had a couple of chances. Did Rotherham that drifted past the post, and another day that they go in. But I think sometimes, the lads, when they've grafted like that for it, like I said, they deserve that little bit of luck. In terms of taking control of a game like that, very difficult. Bravery on the ball. But again, I never expected this to be a game where one team really dominated and it was going to be a game of free-flowing football.
Yeah, it was a real battle, wasn't it, out there, Andy?
Yeah, it was. I go back to what I was saying before and what Worthy was saying about how either side was always going to struggle to dominate today, just with everything that was going to be impacted potentially by what happened today. I was pleased, though, with how Town went into the lineup today, with the fact that Lewis O'Brien felt to be in a much more familiar role. I know at times he was breaking down the left and things, but largely he seemed to be much more centrally within the midfield, which I thought brought stability to Backer and Johnny Hogg. But yeah, it was a game really. It was kind of end to end at times. It was difficult to predict. You didn't know from 1 minute to the next really what was going to be happening. And I mean, as Worthy said, to be honest, we've ridden our luck a bit today. That's not directly your words, Worthy, but it's kind of what I think you were hinting at. We've ridden our luck today, but that's come because people ultimately did do the jobs that they needed to do. Ryan Schofield was there when needed. The defence largely were there when needed. I thought Richard Keogh and Romani Edmonds-Green particularly were solid with that. So, yeah, it was a hard fought point, but I suppose, yeah, it was always going to be like that.
Yeah, and a clean sheet will have done wonders, Worthy, not only for Ryan, but for the likes of Richard Keogh, Naby Sarr that were in that team on Tuesday night.
Yeah, I think that's the big positive, a clean sheet off the back of the game Tuesday. I thought Ryan, and the back three, I thought defended well. Ryan made some crucial saves and came out for crosses at times under pressure, and I think those are the positives and the pleasing moments from it.
Yeah, Ryan looked confident, didn't he, Andy? Especially from set pieces, which we all know are one of Rotherham's main strengths.
Yeah, he's a very, very good keeper, and I feel a couple of times maybe through the season he's maybe felt a little bit of a lack of confidence, but I feel overall Ryan Schofield's really enjoyed the experience of becoming the number one for Town in these sort of from the middle parts then toward this end of the season. I think he's really enjoyed that, and I was really delighted to see how even in the final moments today, when he was needed, he was there. He was really dominant. He did absolutely everything that he needed to do, and I think he's had a really good day today.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think he's certainly kind of developed on this season, Worthy, and I'm sure you'll be able to tell us a little bit more. But coming for balls aerially from set pieces, he got caught out a couple of times earlier this season with those, whether he was a bit tentative or not to come. Whereas today he had an air of confidence about him collecting balls into the box and certainly managed his area.
Yeah, I think, let's be honest, he's a young lad. He's had a couple of setbacks this season, but I think testament to him, what he is a really good character. I think he's shown that, and I think again that was another progressive performance and showed that he's got good. He's a resilient lad, and we as a club, I think we've got a lot of belief in him as a player and a goalkeeper. So pleased for him today.
Yeah, and at the other end, Andy, we did have our own chances. Obviously, Richard Keogh had one in the first half. Yaya Sanogo as well in the second. But like Rotherham, kind of didn't have their luck in front of goal for them. Fortunately, at the back, everything just seemed to hit the chest of their goalkeeper.
Yeah, it did. I actually was making notes as to how everything had gone through the game, and there was a period from about the 25th minute to about the 31st, 32nd where we'd had multiple corners. We were causing them all kinds of problems. And yeah, in that moment, we were looking really quite dominant. We were looking as though actually it is going to take a good performance from the keeper to really keep them in. In that second half, there were one or two chances. We had one or two breakaways that didn't really amount to anything. I suppose what I'm building to here, Adam, is that I feel like we had a couple of spells, but I suppose being at home with the kind of game it was and things, I'd have liked to have seen a little bit more domination in their area. I would have liked to have seen more balls, maybe to Yaya Sanogo that he could work with. Although, in fairness to Danny Ward, actually, I've marked him out and said that for me, that was one of his best performances since his return to Town with what he did today. Yeah,
absolutely. And Sorba Thomas is another one, Worthy, that I wanted to talk to you about, because obviously he's played for the B team primarily since he came in January. He seems to have made really big steps in terms of his development over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, and I think that's what it is. He's making real positive steps. He's a confident lad, and he's got lots of potential. And I think he showed snippets of that when he came on in the Norwich game. And again, he's got more minutes on the pitch, so it's good experience for him. And I think there's more to come from him.
Yeah, he was probably the only kind of bright spark from Tuesday night, Andy. And again, you could see glimpses of what he could do running at defenders in that final third today.
Yeah, he's clearly got a lot of pace. He's clearly got a lot of self-confidence and self-belief in what he can do. If he can find the final ball, I guess there's great potential there. He's got echoes of a Josh Karoma, which we know how good he's been and how impactful he's been this season. So I'm really hopeful that gives Sorba a bit of time to develop at Town, get used to life up north and things. And hopefully we are going to have a very similar player, which is very exciting for me.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, off the back of this, 6 games left now this season. Another big one on Tuesday night, Worthy. But ultimately, we come away from this with another point at home, a clean sheet, and Rotherham, obviously part of that chasing pack, not becoming or getting any closer to where we are in terms of points in the table.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, that 6 games to go. Every game's a big game. when you're looking over your shoulder. And it's important. We go into the Bournemouth game. Probably it'll be a different game because obviously it's not going to be the same pressure environment that it was today with the Rotherham game. So hopefully we can go into there with a positive mindset and and kind of look to implement our style on Bournemouth.
Yeah, absolutely. Worthy, Andy, thank you very much for joining us and helping us analyse that game. And Town fans, thank you for watching.